The racist tweet. It's so boring to cover now. And it's the same problem as everything else. I feel like back in the Gamergate days, when the festering slop YouTubers were making angry videos about how a beloved franchise has a black person in it now, they cared a little bit. Like they're wrong, they're racist, but they cared about what they were saying. And now it's just they say the same shit about everything with no, it's all copy and pasted. Help Subnautica 2 turn a profit. Step 1, remove these characters. No one wants to play as them. Step 2, replace them with... I was about to say Ryan Gosling. I don't know if this guy looks at all like Ryan Gosling. That was just the name that came to my head. And, I don't know, girl, woman. Wasn't the protagonist of Subnautica 1 an ambiguously brown person? Ew, it's AI? Yeah, they always use AI for everything. Yep, he was Asian. He was Blasian, wasn't he? Yeah, there you go. Subnautica sold super well. That's what I'm talking about. Marketing lessons for the modern gamer. This sells, whatever that is. This doesn't sell. And it's Subnautica, an extremely successful game franchise. Is this even a game? I don't know. Incel much? Subnautica always looked good, but survival games are often a bit boring to me. Subnautica, at least Subnautica 1, is very good. Huge recommendation. I think the first one did as well. Kiswati. It's First Descendant by Nexon, Korean game. I'm going to make a broad statement here. You can really tell that the average Korean male is a sexless incel by looking at the state of their gaming market, can't you? Like, no joke. Japan has its issues, man, but holy shit, when you see the kind of stuff Korea tries to hit the beat with, oh my god. It's like, yep, I fully believe that the median Korean male despises women. Starting to be pro-North Korea, man. Yeah, please, God, Kim. Liberate the South. It's time. Soon, like, North Korea is going to win by default with South Korean birth rates being what they are. Like, they're just going to have, like, an empty... The half-life of South Korea is nearing its going to conclude. They're just going to march into an empty peninsula. I saw like a Korean dating show recently, and apparently in the news, it's like Bachelor or whatever. I don't know. It's I don't know what the format was, but the ladies were bringing their luggage up to the resort they were staying at, and the cameraman or the producer asked two guys who were sitting down, you know, normally men help the women with their luggage. Are you guys gonna do that? And the guys were like, no, women wouldn't help me with my luggage if I was bringing it up here, so I'm not going to do that for them. That's called equality. Isn't that what feminists want? Or something to that effect? Except in Korean, so I was just reading the subtitles, you know. They're all gonna die off. Do you think North Korea might actually be less misogynistic? Maybe, kind of hard to tell. I don't know. I don't want to make any presumptuous statements, but like South Korea's making it difficult to beat. Korean men are such incels, they rage out over a finger pinch. Yeah, we've talked about the finger pinch thing. Yeah, there was literally like a game promo or ad with a little girl where at some point she does this in like a gesture, but that's an anti-male hate gesture in South Korea because it's like mocking their penis size, because I guess like the average Korean guy is jonking it to pornography where they're getting cucked by other races with bigger penises or something. I genuinely like the idea of, I'm not one of those I'm embarrassed to be a man kind of guys, because I just, that's like, that thought to me is embarrassing, being that kind of guy. That being said, the fact that there is literally a movement of men where one of the defining features of the movement is being insecure about their penis size, that is genuinely really embarrassing. I feel so sorry for South Korean women. Yeah, have they discovered lesbianism over there? South Korea is pretty conservative. Do they know what Yuri is? Almost certainly, Posadish John. Porn is banned in South Korea. Yeah, but that doesn't stop them. It's so fucked up. It took 3 years for players to notice the offensive hand gesture lurking in one of South Korea's most popular multiplayer games. When players made their avatars laugh, talk, or give the OK sign in Lost Ark, they clicked an icon featuring a gesture that might have appeared benign to many, an index finger nearly touching a thumb. but some of Lost Ark's users began claiming in August the gesture was a sexist insult against men, and they demanded its removal. Conspiracy within the government and private companies to promote a feminist agenda. Smilegate, the creator of Lost Ark and one of South Korea's biggest video game developers, quickly complied with the request for removal. Pussies. Anti-feminism has a years-long history in South Korea, and research suggests that such sentiments are taking hold among the country's young men. In May, the Korean marketing and research firm Hankook Research said it found more than 77% of men in their 20s and more than 73% of men in their 30s were, quote, repulsed by feminists or feminism. Repulsed, really? By far the largest gender wage gap among OECD countries. Roughly 5% of board members of publicly listed companies in the country are women, compared to the OECD average of nearly 27%. Man, like, if ever you're, like, doubting the idea that sexual insecurity is one of the primary drivers of civilizational movement, like one of the main dialectical forces, look at this shit, man. Men can have literally everything, but small dick insecurity and not getting pussy will, like, collapse a country. Yeah, literally, Thana. It's like an entire ecosystem of political movements that literally just boil down to they're not getting laid. The logo of now-defunct feminist online community Megalia ridicules the size of Korean men's genital. My position on this is that if you're a South Korean woman, this is the one time that I think it's okay to do political lesbianism. Like, even if you're not attracted to women, the men here probably aren't worth it. You should just dip. Can somebody find me that Twitter clip or screenshot with the South Korean reality TV where the guy was like, I would never bring up a suitcase for a woman. That sort of thing. All of the articles that I find covering this are terrified of angering the men as well. They're like, some are concerned with whether or not this symbol might be hateful towards men. They just call them pathetic. How the fuck is South Korea even going to grow past this? I genuinely have no idea. I have, like, no clue. I have no idea how you get past that. I can't find the video. Feminists are furious over a South Korean dating show where the men refuse to carry women's suitcases. Feminism wrought havoc on South Korea. Now there is a massive backlash against it. Feminism destroys the feminine mystique and breeds resentment. We male participants all carried the suitcase by ourselves. Now that gender equality is a thing, we should all suffer equally as well. Women love this. On previous season, when ladies bring suitcases with them, male participants used to go help them. No, times had changed. We're not doing that. They started to show the real Korean men on TV finally. Yeah, K-pop groups have given Western women, like, way too charitable of an impression. Like, how did it get so bad? Capitalism. I mean, like, unironically. Work culture in South Korea is even worse than it is in Japan. And a lot of these problems are present in Japan as well. But that, along with cultural conservatism, has basically made, like, dating and egalitarianism and just having a normal social life when you're young, basically, I mean, at any point, I guess, basically impossible. So very much like, you know, modernity has taken away what I'm entitled to, and what I'm entitled to is like a tight pussy kind of deal. Yeah, South Korea is a shithole, genuinely. Have you seen the documentary Parasite? That's probably true, Radical Dino. Isn't part of the issue that men in South Korea have to spend 18 months doing military service? If anything, no. I feel like all the men going off for military service should be like a boost to the pussy. Because then you should come back, like, jacked, you know? And then there's, like, like an age group of women who have been away from men for a while. And then you're like, hey, snookums, you come back from your 18 months doing push-ups. They don't come back jacked, though, lol? What are you doing 18 months training if you're not coming back jacked? That's like spending 6 years in prison and coming out not jacked. Like, what are you doing? IMO, both genders in South Korea should have to do military service. I disagree, because it seems like South Korean men are horrible, and I think they should be sent away from the women, like, to protect the women. So now it's like a forced separation thing, I guess, you know? I think the men should be sent because they're awful. Unironically, though, it should be neither. Oh, sorry, I forgot. Comedy is illegal in Biden's woke America. Hopefully Trump wins, then I'll be able to make jokes again. The men should start in prison tweet comes to mind. Yeah, I don't literally think that men should start in prison and have to work their way out, but sometimes that feels spiritually true, you know? I mean, it is true that, like, even just online and social media, I see women be catty bitches, but then, like, you basically don't have to put any effort at all to see a woman getting dogpiled with men threatening to rape and kill her. You know? It is definitely true that if you're just going by behavior, like there is a more prison-worthy group by default. It's not good. It's not good. It's not good, folks. It's not good. Come on, Vaush Jesus. Shut the fuck up, Troop. You bitch. You pussy. What are you, a woman? You a beta? You weak? By which I mean a woman? By which I mean worse than me? Thought Vaush was about to hit the vape. Smoke a cigarette like a man. Redshirting is the practice of postponing entrance into kindergarten of age-eligible children in order to allow extra time for socio-emotional, intellectual, or physical growth. What the f does this have to do with anything? I think that you should start interacting with other kids, like, immediately. Like, I think you should be in daycare, like preschool and then daycare before that. If you have kids, like, I think you should be tossing them in the damn baby pit when they're 3, you know? Wasn't this that pedophile proposal where women could be in school earlier than men? Oh, that's right! There was that South Korean institute that was asked by the government to find solutions to their issues. And they were like, yeah, what if, like, girls in the same grade were younger than the guys, so the guys could, like, prey on the girls, and they could, you know, like, in the same grade, the girls would be 1 or 2 years younger or something like that, across the whole board. That was a government organization that said that in South Korea. Can we at least, like, South Korean men have to work their way out of prison? Vaush, the UK is banning vapes and cigarettes for people under a certain age. Thoughts? Don't we already do that? Isn't that normal? You can't smoke until you're 18 here. Is there currently no limit to when you can smoke in the UK? It's 21. Is it 21 here? I thought it was 18. They changed it to 21? Huh. It's by state in America? Oh, okay. They still smoke at like 14. Smoking is so lame. I hate how lesbians, mostly trans lesbians, I see you, you have bad ideas, are trying to bring it back as cool. It's not cool. You reek and you make everything greasy and yellow, and it's a vice. It makes you weak. It's not cool, but it feels so good. No, it doesn't. It doesn't. I've smoked cigarettes. It's like a light buzz, then you get addicted to it, and then you just need to sate the addiction. It's not like getting drunk, okay? Didn't you just have a segment where you defended those trans puppy girls doing coke? Well, I don't understand where the contradiction is. People were, like, attacking them on a moral level. Your cardio makes sex difficult to go beyond a few minutes. It's okay, no one here is having sex anyway. Where's the correlation? The worst part of being a streamer is people, like, keep an archive where they misremember all of your positions, so anytime you say a new thing, they're like, well, what about X? And the new thing you've said doesn't contradict X, and X isn't even exactly the thing you said, and you just always have to remember the exact verbiage of every statement you've ever made. Otherwise, you get locked in the pit. You're, like, always going, well, I don't know exactly what I said, but what I remember saying is this, and you're not worth it. You're not worth that time. They just want to talk with you? That's fair. I would also want to talk with me if I wasn't me. That's not true. I would find myself insufferable.